is John O'Brien with syracuse.com with State Senator John DeFrancisco, who was just elected to his 13th term as state senator. Senator, first of all, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's always great to win an election, and it's important for Central New York to have a Senate majority of Republicans, and that's one seat down, and we've got to still get another 31 to make sure that happens throughout the state.
You're looking at keeping the leadership, the majority in this Senate, right?
We're trying our darndest. There's a little tough races down on Long Island and a couple in the Hudson Valley, so I think that it looks good, but you just never know in a presidential year.
Okay, and what are your thoughts on possibly running again for the leadership position?
Well, you got to see what the numbers are first, and you got to see whether or not there's a reasonable opportunity to do that. The most important thing is to have a unified Republican majority so that we could fend off some of the activities that the liberal Democrats in New York City seem to like raising taxes and raising spending and coming up with very poor legislation concerning criminal justice. So there's a lot of issues that we have to try to stop or we have to try to promote, and that's extremely important, especially in Central New York, because the last time it happened, when the Democrats from New York City controlled everything, road and bridge money went downstate, period. We got very little upstate. So we need an equitable distribution of funds. We need more reasonable legislation rather than going further and further to the left in the state.
All right. And you've been in the Senate since 1992.
Correct.
How many more years?
Well, I take them one at a time. You get to a certain age, and as long as you can do and you think you can do your job and you're doing an effective job, you keep running. God knows what the situation will be 2 years from now.
Okay. And then what are your thoughts on what's going on tonight? It's getting kind of...
It's very interesting. You know, when you started hearing the pundits going into tonight, it sounded like it was a foregone conclusion that Hillary Clinton was going to win. Then all of a sudden there's these states that are toss-ups, and then now you see Ohio going to Trump, and he's close in Virginia. It's a nip and tuck in Florida. I mean, it's going to be a late night tonight, or maybe hopefully no hanging chads, but it's going to be a long time before we find out what the final numbers are.
And you've publicly said you were a Trump supporter. You did vote for Trump, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. I've said that from day one. You have a choice. You have two candidates. You have a candidate of a person who's sometimes obnoxious, sometimes offensive, and you've got someone else who lies and violates the law and doesn't get prosecuted for violating the law that affects national security. I mean, that's a pretty easy choice if you've got those are the two choices.
All right, thank you, John.
Thank you.